To continue with Homeland Security explanation, I have a question for you. Did you ever have people looking in your grocery basket? Or a basket you had in one of the stores like Target, Walmart, which I never go to anymore. Many years ago. Or anything like that? Well, there are people paid to do such a thing. You're not the popular movie star that you thought you was. So if they're following you and seeing what you're buying, then they're using that info on Wall Street for the golden calf molten into a bull. It's true. This book, An Economic Interpretation of the Constitution of the United States by Charles A. Beard. Again. There it is. To go on with it, the general, however, evidently did not regard this inhibition as binding upon himself, for he appears upon the records as one of the large dealers in public paper in New York. Examples of his extensive financial transactions can be readily found by reference to the old loan books in the Treasury Department. There appear in March, October, and November 1791 the following amounts to his credit: $23,189.21, $15,594.61, $80,036.50, and $20,689.21. Neither did, that was a lot back then too. I must remind you, that was a lot in the old days. Neither did Hamilton deem it necessary to inhibit his brother-in-law, J.B. Church. Think about that name. From dealing in securities. During Hamilton's administration of the Treasury, Church was a large holder of public securities. One entry credits him with $28,187.91 worth. Moreover, while Secretary of the Treasury, through his agents, Thomas Willing in Philadelphia, which I have no good feelings for, and W.M. Seaton in New York, Hamilton bought and sold for his brother-in-law. In the Hamilton MSS, in the Library of Congress, is preserved a letter from Thomas Willing bearing the date of February 24th, 1790, and addressed to Hamilton, which shows that the former was then selling stocks under the latter's orders for Church. Guess that's where they got the excuse to call us a Christian nation. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Oh, and a little bit of a letter written. Alexander Hamilton, Esquire, Secretary of the Treasury at New York. Sir, I have had this day the honor of yours, enclosing your power of substitution on behalf of Mr. Church. At present, the sale of stock, and indeed every other money transaction is nearly at a stand. The produce of the state and sale of bills of exchange will alone command it until we receive a supply from sea. Sees a lot in the Old Testament. Mr. Constable has informed me of the purchase he has made of 20 shares, and when they appear, the transfer will be completed. I observe what you say, repeating the sale of what remains of Mr. Church's shares, and shall do whatever may be in my power to dispose of them whenever I receive the certificates and your orders to make the sale. I am, sir, with great respect, Hamilton. And THOS, whatever that means, willing. So our president and our sin nutters make the biggest money off Walmart, off Wall Street. Isn't it funny I said Walmart? Because they're on there too. They worship pagan idols. I ain't going to their store. I'll do without anything that only they have. Forget it. I obey and worship God, and they do not. At a later date, Hamilton was engaged in an extended correspondence with William Seton of New York Bank, which shows that the latter was buying United States Bank stocks for Church under Hamilton's orders. On November 21, 1793, Seton writes that he has not been able to make an investment for Mr. Church on account of the high price of bank stock. 5 days later, Seton writes to Hamilton that he thinks it will be possible in a day or two to purchase stock for Mr. Church under your limits, and adds, after further remarks, I therefore feel loath to enter into the market without further orders from you. Here follows voluminous correspondence showing Seton's successful purchases. I suggest you read this book. There used to be a rumor back in my younger days that these people obeyed God and was ruling our nation by his laws. But if you study every one of them, you will see they do not, and they have not been, when you read history. And that's why they didn't want us to study history and tore our history books up. They hardly told us anything about history that we needed to know, because they wanted to hide. And their descendants after them, especially when the Bush family took over our country, and we don't know what they're about but money. And cursing God is a very bad thing. God has punished people who cursed him long ago, so many times. Even the Jews, the chosen people. But did they stop? Nope. They did it over and over and over again. He punished them, took away their food. They had to eat each other for the ones left could even live. Fathers eating sons, sons eating fathers. Whoever was strongest at the time, I guess. You become animals when you don't obey God's laws. And apparently, nobody in our government knows what they are. The laws. They just want to make up commandments of their own, which is man-made commandments. Oh, how far their heart is from me, that maketh the man's commandments. You can look that up on the internet. They won't let me on it anymore. They knew I was bringing out the truth, so if I can get this on, I'd love to for my brothers and sisters, my honest people. I love y'all. I'm praying for you. Have a great night or day, wherever you are, all over the world. Later.